happen.
All right, why you gotta arrow me out like
It's on
that?
top of the region, but it replaces that part.
Yeah, it does replace that part because it's sometimes when you're fat finger, it's really easy to mess it up. But you know who's not gonna mess it up? These two teams, they are coming in towards the gorge in game 1 of our Day 3 Asian Games Esports qualifiers for Honor of Kings. Casters, you're live.
Thank you so much, Saki. As we go into this one, of course, first game, set the tone, right? I think that both of these squads, the way that they're going to want to play is being aggressive. On the other side, Uzbekistan, Farouk, he needs to step up from what we saw, at least from yesterday.
Yes, for sure. And it seems like Pakistan really is going to be very, very aggressive right now, and that they are going to start raiding towards the bottom side.
Yeah, they're going to be aggressive. This is what you want to be, especially as Pakistan. This is, like, the counter movements are happening by Uzbekistan because they saw that, hey, Pakistan was looking to evade. Now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite end.
Yep, very smart coming from Uzbekistan, but we do realize that the Lady Sun has been sent towards the clash lane instead of the farm, and Mahmoud is actually going towards the farm lane instead of the clash, and this means that Mahmoud is not going to be able to get the Firehawk because Firehawk is, well, you need a range hero to be able to hit it. But maybe this is part of the strat, right? Because they do want to get the Tyrant afterwards, and maybe they favor the presence of Mahmoud better than Ismoy back.
Yeah, and also, like, because if Mahmoud, Fatih, is in kind of a, I mean, it's not the worst lane going up against an Ata, but it's still not, like, the best for him. So I think that if you're going to be like, okay, just let him just kind of mitigate, take as much farm in the bottom lane as possible, then now you're looking for an advantage because you have the range versus, again, the melee here.
True, and also having Fatih going up against Chano is actually might be an okay thing too, because Fatih's basic attack is actually sort of rangy if he have his stacks. So he just spam his skill around and use basic attack from far and hopefully get the last hit on every minute. I think it can work. It makes sense a little bit.
Yeah. It's a nice little audible, if you will, just changing things up. Because again, you want to kind of keep Pakistan a little bit on their toes, right? They were expecting a certain matchup. It didn't happen that way. Now, how does Pakistan respond? And it looks like they're going to be just, again, aggressive onto Mahmoud.
Yeah, Muhammad really sending out all the wolves as much as he can. They're still trying to focus to get this extra resources coming in from Uzbekistan. Who's going to get the last hit? It's going to be Akbar, it seems.
I think you stole that away, right? I mean, that's great for them, right?
Decided to send Ismoy back down to the bottom lane. Probably they feel like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should stick to what's common, to what's normal, and might have a lesser amount of headache.
Okay, so if they're looking for a potential gank, Mahmoud is not going to be the easiest of targets, has a decent amount of mobility to get himself back to safety.
Yeah, right now it seems like they're going to start to prepare themselves for the presence of Tyrant after this. And it seems like Atta is going to try to fly to the mid lane, but he cancelled it out. He's going to maintain his presence in the top to continue fighting against Mahmoud. They're try to clear the minion as fast as they can, 5 seconds before the Tyrant spawns in.
Yeah. It's all about clearing the waves before you make any sort of move. I think that both of these two teams, again, partly important in this game. Losing this one will put you very far back into the groups. You would definitely struggle from that situation. So this is a moment where you're kind of like, okay, we got to play safe. And now the Tyrant, in about half, he goes right in. He goes to the back line. Muhammad trying to do a little bit of work on this one, but the Tyrant is already being picked up by Farouk. Mahmoud is going to trade his life away. And now Akbar is on the run. He's a little bit low, so he needs to be careful. The Scepters are doing a decent amount. He's barely going to get away, but on the side, it looks like Farouk, he too will live.
Wow, I thought that was going to go very well for Team Uzbekistan because Akbar actually managed to use Unbridled Outburst very, very well. But eventually Mahmoud probably overextended just by a little bit and gets caught up by Muhammad N. So I do feel that they still need to be careful with their formation right after an initiation of an attack.
I think the idea was definitely right by Mahmoud. Like, he wants to be on that back line.
The timing is good.
Yeah, but he's not really tanky enough. I mean, he doesn't have the items to really be the Fatih of what we expect mid to late game. So now, on the side, the Raging Sea, he's going to flash on forward, but it's not going to be enough. Who's there taking some tower shots, somehow survives, but Hassan, coming from the side, takes down his Mobang.
Wow. We can see now everyone is quite proficient with their respective heroes here, and we do see that the Hassan is playing quite aggressively. He actually went all the way to the back of the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, trying to get an edge and snipe him from far, and Ismail back becomes the casualty. I feel that Uzbekistan is on the right track, but also they need to be more aggressive to go up against Pakistan, because Pakistan is really all over the map.
All over the map. Great ganks. I mean, that was a great one by Hassan. And now a couple of knockbacks on. The Umbrella Outburst has to use defensively. And they've got the mini stun on. The Fate Rewind, it does look like he's got enough speed. He goes 86 miles an hour, and he goes back in time.
Yeah, they're still gonna be right in front of him. They do know that Akbar has activated the Umbrella Outburst. Definitely gonna wait for the situation to calm down just a little bit, for the jump fade to be smaller again. And now they're gonna start to do a little bit of rotation towards the mid.
All right, 1.5K advantage by Pakistan. They've definitely been rotating, being the more aggressive of the two teams, right? So Uzbekistan on the losing end thus far, but when you have heroes that are all kind of mid to late game-ish, like they're fine as long as they're not like losing T3s by like the 12, 13-minute mark, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Still okay, still on the right track, to be honest. 2,000 gold in front within 6 minutes is still doable for sure. Hassan is in the vicinity. He's trying to put all the mark onto the Uzbekistani players, and I feel that they're gonna start to be much more aggressive after this. Pakistan always preparing to trap them inside the brushes.
And that's what you want to do. When you have a lead, especially as Pakistan, you want to be kind of exerting that dominance. You have a slight edge. It's still very early, and that obviously Uzbekistan can come back, but still, you got to take what the team is giving you, and right now it looks like they want to go for Umijin. Oh, the Raging Sea completely whiffed. I've done that, so I feel bad too, is there.
But, well, he managed to force the flash, but it seems like they're going to try to force the one out, and Anwar is going to go down. It's going to be an easy one for them. He's trying to use a teleport, but not realizing that there's too much of Uzbekistan's players close by to him.
Yeah, and the stun was actually saved until the very end, and now Mohamed H is looking for a little bit on the revenge tour, the Overlord being picked up by Uzbekistan. But basically, Anwar got caught looking, right? He was definitely not focused. He probably should have just canceled the teleport and just got to safety.
True, and it's very unfortunate for him for sure. 2,000 gold in front. We do know that Uzbekistan is going to try to get closer economically with that takedown towards Anwar. They're definitely going to be much closer now. Having this Vanguard for sure going to help them to push the minions faster. But how are they going to try to benefit from this? What is their next objective? Are they going to start to group up nearby the Tyrant area or not?
Yeah, and actually 8 minutes in, the Tyrant has respawned again. It seems like Pakistan are making their way to it. So this is, again, they need that damage buff to turn to a little bit more net worth. They were going to pick that one up very easily, and they find Akbar caught looking again.
He did not manage to use his Umbrella Outburst. You know, there's no time. He's too quick. The amount of damage is too high, but you can see on how Farouk is still in front.
Yeah, Farouk, he's just going to go in for this one, but at what cost? He's going to be taken down, and now with that ghost ship, the dash away not going to be enough. A double strike going the way of Mohamed N as he snipes him out.
All of this happening while Mahmoud is still up there. He's not coming down just yet. Maybe they're planning to use him as a distraction. Maybe his sole focus is to just push the top lane as much as he can, and maybe forcing one of the Pakistanis to actually go towards that.
Yeah, and it's like a very disjointed fight. The rest of Pakistan were looking to group up, and I mean, you win that team fight, and all of a sudden your mid lane is completely decimated. Now you have to defend with your T3s. This is such a rough spot for them because, again, they lost the single team fight, and now they want to go back in. Hassan, he's going to use the Fate Rewind. He's going to get on to the other side of this one. Umijin taking a lot with those scepters. But Umbrella Outbursts have been expended as well, but they got 0 value, no kills.
Yep, definitely a high amount of damage coming out from them, but unfortunately the jump fade already lost his madness. He doesn't have his Umbrella Outburst anymore. I do feel that there's a very good chance for Pakistan to force something out of this destruction.
Yeah, the universal law, but he's been pushed back. The old man is in a bad spot. He's going to be taken down. Hassan will as well, so they did get the revenge on him, but Akbar is going to be taken down. They continue under the crystal. A little too dangerous to flash away. Mohamed N is going to stay alive, but only 2 members left on both sides.
A very good team fight coming out from both sides of the team. 4,000 gold in front, and they will be able to get the tier 3 tower. It seems like UZB has almost been taken down, but he still managed to run away. Mahmoud, he's gonna force it out with the flash.
Yeah, just a great play. I mean, just being able to just kind of springboard. He was able to Frogger on forward, find UZB, who was very low. He was just like a very easy path to find him, and now the Overlord going to be started here.
It seems like this is going to be the best option for Uzbekistan to go with Overlord instead of the Tyrant, because they do need to clear the lanes quickly. They are 2 tier 3 towers down, which is a bad news.
Yeah, really bad news. But the Overlord, who's going to take this? Farouk just barely takes that one away. The Fate Rewind up for Hassan. He gets on back to safety, but Uzbekistan, that was actually very close. Now, without some of those mid-T and the mid and the bottom T3, those avenues, to your base are wide open. Like Uzbekistan, you need to find something. You need to find a pick. You got to turn this game around.
I agree. They do have the Shadow Vanguard in their hands, so they can send the Shadow Vanguard towards any other lanes right now. But Mahmoud really needs to be careful. Everyone is all over him right now. Mahmoud is going to try to run away, but there's no space for him to go. This reminds me of the game yesterday between India and Kazakhstan. This fight, back and forth.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to win.
Yeah. I mean, but Pakistan definitely in the driver's seat in this one. They have a bit of an edge, especially when you don't have those T3s. It makes it very difficult for you to get outside your base because those lanes are constantly pushing, right? Yes, you have the Vanguard. That's going to give you a little bit of breathing space. But we're only talking about 12 minutes in. I mean, this is a late game lineup by Uzbekistan. They're not going to see the late game.
That's true. Knowing that the 380 towers destruction is going to cause the minions to be bigger. There's going to be one big boy minion in the mid lane and the bottom lane. So I do feel that Uzbekistan is going to have a little bit of a problem unless they can somehow manage the lanes well with Mahmoud.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of it revolves around Mahmoud. I like it that you pointed out because he is definitely the guy. When they're going for those team fights, I mean, they lost that one big team fight in their jungle, and then Mahmoud wasn't even there, right?
Yeah.
So he was looking to split push. But now, I mean, when you're looking to take any sort of fight, you got to go 5-on-5 or 5-on-4. Maybe you get an advantage.
Especially when they have Atta being used by Muhammad. Mahmoud needs to join just to melt down Atta with his Doomsday. And Mahmoud have not yet have any Doomsday for now.
Oh, but they decided to turn this around. Mahmoud gets a little bit low. Muhammad and gets the snipe. The Umbrella Upper is not going to be enough. They found Farouk as well. The Universal Law will do some work, but the triple strike already happened by Muhammad and they will look to end this game as they just need to wait for those minions. But this game has been Pakistan from here on out.
For sure, Pakistan is really on the momentum right now. Minions coming in the mid lane. And I think they're going to try to force the win right now.
Yeah, the Raging Sea finding Umijan as well. He's going to be back, but Ismobek has already been taken out. They're going to take the Crystal, and Pakistan will strike first. They're going to take game number 1.
Congratulations, Pakistan, with their first point. Almost losing it just now because of that last swap, but you know what? It's not bad, Saki.
It was really not bad, especially for the fact that Pakistan came back from a loss.